Daisy Chainsaw by Charlotte Laskowski is a TTRPG about magical girls beating the shit out of things in an episodic fashion. I don't think there's anyone that don't know what a magical girl is, and if you are clicking into this video, you already know what you are looking at, so let's just skip straight to making your own magical girl. The first decision you can make is what weapons you have. This includes baseball bat, brass knuckles, chainsaw, gun, hat,
heavy as magic,
katana, knives, microphone, roller skates, and whip. Each weapon has their own unique passive trait, a set of quirks to let you further modify it, and 3 whole tiers of special actions you can use to pummel cosmic threats or other magical girls. You probably notice that each weapon has 2 stats written below them. This lets you use them as either the primary or secondary statistic when rolling for attack. Here's how the dice mechanic works. The primary stat determines how many dices you can roll, while the secondary determines how many dice passes. Say you have a primary of 5 and secondary of 3 for a roll. This means you roll 5 dices and any number that's 3 or lower get turned into a success. Any dice that rolled a 1 also explodes and turns into another dice that you can keep rolling and exploding. It's dark heresy all over again. Sometimes a magical girl just hits things really hard. Also, you actually get 2 sets of weapons to bash people's heads in with, or you can pick the same for both.
Heavy as magic!
Next to pick is of course, your stats. There's 4, charm, focus, heart, and power. Charm is your magic power and also directly influences how many spells you know. Focus is how good you are at thinking under pressure, it mostly determines your speed in combat. Heart is your willpower and courage, influencing your harm pool or health, and power is your capability for raw violence, and is also used to just withstand the worst of what your foe can throw at you. Basically, with this system, you can decide how magical your magical girl is, and how violent your magical girl is. Then there's spells. Spells like magic kisses, magic bolt, magic glitter bomb, magic ghost, magic chemical warfare, magic assassination, magical power of friendship and incredible violence, and of course, healing.
Magic sandwich!
Spells basically provides another pool of tools to further customize your magical girls with, outside of your weapons, because when you advance in power level, you have to make the choice of choosing more abilities or spells. That said, there's a limit to how many spells and power move with harm written next to them that you can use per fight. This is called the burnout limit. It increases when your team of magical girl get more powerful according to your PL or power level. You can still keep using those spells and harm abilities even when reaching over your burnout limit, but you might hurt yourself when doing so, much like how real burnout is like. Take good care of yourself when you are feeling it. Finally, you have to pick your mascot. Just pick things out or roll the dice to see what fucked up animal or creature will be supporting your team. With your magical girl team set, let's cave someone's skull in and talk about combat. In combat, everything on field is on a grid and has 2 actions. That sounds good, but moving is also an action, so you might find that you have less than you expected, much like in Charlotte's other work, Celestial Bodies. Combat is generally fast-paced and lethal. Most enemies can only do things at melee range, but so is your magical girl for the most part. You do have an arsenal of powerful spells and abilities, but remember the burnout limit, which I should remind you, this is per team. That makes things easy to track, but also means that everyone is using power from the same pool. This means for the most part, you will be performing mostly just normal attack to deal with your foes, though even those are further enhanced by your traits and quirks, and you do have a number of other actions to perform besides attacking, so you can use these to change up the field a bit. Also, when your harm pool is depleted, you are knocked out. Enemies tend to not target knocked out magical girl, but you will also die in 3 turns if nobody can get to you on time. If you do get hit while knocked out, you can still withstand a killing blow once per episode by pushing your limit, giving you a temporary power up. This will give you a scar that might or might not appear when you are out of magical girl mode, but at least you will live. Essentially, while the game is quite lethal, it can be somewhat forgiving when it comes to letting you survive a fight, but the real problem is afterward. The GM, or DM, or Disaster Master, that's straight up a supervillain name, is advised to throw the players into a loop by not just throwing magical mobs at them, but also throw reality at them. The hardest choice of any magical girl is for them to choose to prioritize their real life or saving the world, and as the book puts it, the DM role is to make it even harder. The antagonist can kidnap people or throw fights into populated area, turning situations into something that do directly affect the mundane lives of the magical girls, while the magical girls also have to handle problems that isn't just killing monsters, like handling chores, struggling to obtain good grades, or getting home in time. The scars you get from surviving a killing blow might even affect the mundane side of your life, even if it's only narratively. You may also push your limits in other circumstances, like on low health, burnt out, or being outnumbered. Two of that has to be true. Then you can just say it's magical girl time and then magical girled over everything. Magical girls can really just do that. It doesn't last forever though, so you better be fast about it. Also, I like just how simple it is to make normal enemies for the players. You just pick a power level, maybe some traits for slightly stronger enemies, and done. Because for the most part, a magical mob is just here to get punched and exploded, but for more powerful and more importantly named foes, like other magical girls or someone else, just make them as if they are your own magical girls, and pit them against the players for a hell of a time. And that's basically it on Daisy Chainsaw, a grid-based tactical combat TTRPG about magical girl saving the day with the power of love and this gun they just found on the floor. I adore the magical girl genre a lot, especially the slightly darker than usual kind, as some of you might know after I tweeted how much pain I'm in when the fourth Madoka Magica movie got delayed to next year, again. I know I said slightly darker than usual, but that's just what most magical girl show these days is like, isn't it? When was the last time you even get to watch a normal magical girl show similar to Sailor Moon, besides the Sailor Moon remake? Anyway, there's place for cutesy magical girl show, but I prefer those where cute girls beat the shit out of each other, and that sentence is going to sound wrong no matter how I said it, but this magical girl tabletop RPG is fitting exactly what I'm looking for. That said, there's zero downtime system or mechanic here. The DM basically has to wing it on their own, which I feel like is a missed opportunity because I really like the part in Magical Girl Show where the girls have to manage problem magic can't solve, like depression, crippling debt, and talking to normal people, though the last part is kinda solvable if you prefer a more permanent solution. Anyway, you can get it now on itch.io, and there's quite a few free community copies too, though they might be out once this video is released. That's all for now, and I will see you all next time. Hello there, if you like this video, please subscribe and click that notification bell button. If you want to see the videos early as well as further support my channel, you can join in my Patreon page, or buy me some coffee, links in the description. Anyway, have a nice day.